come home tonight. Don't give up, 'cause mercy's slow.
The Breakroom with Marty Shields. Single stories.
Hello, welcome to the program. I'm your host, Marty, and you are in the Breakroom, Single Stories. Now, the song you hear below me somewhere is by a singer who influenced the singer whose song, if that makes sense, we'll be looking at today. In fact, this song today, most people said it actually started the second British invasion of music in 1983. It became number one in the United States. It also became number one in the UK. But before we get into that song, we'll be looking at a performer who influenced the singer who sings our song today. Most of you might not have ever seen him or maybe even heard of him. But the thing is, he's actually at the beginning of the video of the song we're looking at today. Wow, there's a lot of back and forths today. Here's a picture of him at the very beginning of that video. Here it is. And if you don't know who that is, that's Johnny Ray, an incredible torch singer from the early 50s. Anyhow, we're going to take a look at him singing his number one hit, Cry. But before we do that, we want to make sure that all of you sit back, relax, fire up a Colatini, and watch the pictures as they fly through the air. We'll be right back.
If your sweetheart sends a letter of goodbye, it's no secret you'll feel better if you cry when waking from a bad dream. Don't you sometimes think it's real, but it's only false emotion that you feel. If your heart aches into a hanging.
Like, subscribe, comment. Music History thanks you.
There was no pasta or toilet paper, but fortunately, the music shop was still open. Welcome back to the program. Now, most groups that I've looked at today have a leader. Sly and the Family Stone was Sly. The Beach Boys had Brian Wilson, that kind of thing. Well, the gentleman we're looking at today actually definitely had control of his band, and he had a vision with every band he was in. That was the young Kevin Rowland. Kevin Rowland is Irish. He's born in England. He comes from a very violent home. He gets arrested like 5 or 6 times before he's even 15 years old, but by 15, he leaves home. He runs away from home. He goes to school to become an educated hairdresser. He creates his first band called Lucy and the Lovers that don't do well and don't last too long. And the whole punk movement is now invaded England in 1975. And now Kevin's got another band he's in, and it's called the Killjoys. They're a big band in Birmingham. In fact, here's one of their hit songs from the Killjoys. Along with punk going on in 1975-76, the two-tone ska music scene has also hit the UK. Groups like Madness, The Specials, Selector. Kevin's brother goes down to see a band that he might be interested in putting on a bill somewhere with one of his other bands, and of course Kevin goes with him, and they see a group called the Negatives. And one of the guitarists in this band Kevin really likes, his name is Kevin Archer, and he becomes a member of the Killjoys. Kevin wants to do something different. I mean, he thinks punk's okay, but he also feels there's a segment of the population of England that wants to dance. And so he starts getting into Northern Soul music, which he's grown up with, and he starts thinking that he wants to join another band. So the Killjoys gets phased out, And him and Kevin Archer, I think I'm just going to call them Archer and Roland from now on, because they're both named Kevin, decide to go ahead and start forming a band. Roland has a complete vision. The new band, he's going to decide what they wear, how they sound, obviously, what they look like on stage, even their hairstylist, because of course he's a hairstylist. And this band he creates, which is a northern soul band with horns, and it's called DEXY'S Midnight Runners. Now DEXY'S is another term for dexedrine, which is like an upper, which I guess a lot of these dancers in northern England would use when they're out dancing at these clubs, I guess soul music. Initially, when the band was formed in 1978, Kevin's looking for a style or a look. It's funny because Kevin felt, like a lot of bands in England, that they had to have a look. And they had to dress alike or act alike. Very theatrical, more so than I think the United States. The UK has always been a very theatrical kind of look when it came to rock and roll music. Finally, Kevin decides they're going to have what they call like a New York dock worker with a hat and kind of the pea coat, and that's the first look that actually makes it with DEXY'S Midnight Runners. Their manager tells Roland he needs to sing more emotional, and he goes back to his roots, some of the first music he ever listened to, and that was, of course, the group that we heard at the very beginning, which was General Johnson and his band, the chairman of the board. And so Roland actually adapts that type of sound, kind of emotional. By 1980, DEXY'S Midnight Runners gets their first #1 hit. It's based on a soul singer that is big in the northern soul singer group up north in England. His name is Geno Washington. He has a band called the Ram Jam Band. And you can tell by this song where DEXY'S Midnight Runners, at least, is trying to sound like. And here's their first #1 song, Geno. About this time, Kevin Roland realizes that he has to form another band because he's lost like 5 members, and he starts bringing another band together. And of course, this band is going to have a different look, same name but a different look. And he's told by one of his managers that folk music is starting to come in, which both Roland and Kevin Archer kind of go, yeah, right, folk music. They don't listen to him. But they form another band, and this band has a different look, of course. This look is kind of like athlete in training look. And the thing is, they actually do train as a band. Kevin has them, he's a control freak. And besides the haircuts and the way they look, he doesn't allow them to drink before concerts. He has them like getting in shape, like running a couple miles a day as a band. They practice for 8 hours a day. I mean, he's really like a hardcore band leader, which can cause a problem. This new band, like I said, they look like they're athletes in training. They have lace-up boxer shoes, the lace-up ones. Kevin Roland starts looking at songs for their next album, but they're going to go on tour in 1981. And one of the songs that they are messing with on their tour in 1981 becomes Come On Eileen. Now the song is called Yes, Let's. And the lyrics are almost verbatim for Come On Eileen, but the style of the song and the instrumentation and the speed and everything else is nothing like Come On Eileen. And finally, Kevin Archer kind of says, I don't know if I still want to do this. And they've been thinking about this idea about folk music. Their manager talked about, but not like folk music from the United States, not like, Kumbaya, but Irish folk music, which is kind of different. I mean, the instrumentation is all acoustic. Guitars, banjos, pianos, tambourines, flutes, that kind of thing. And Archer quits the band. Kevin Archer quits DEXY'S Midnight Runners, and he starts writing songs in this idea. He kind of starts writing songs with the Irish Celtic soul thing involved. Kevin Archer's band. Kevin Archer's band is called the Blue Ox Babes. And he shows one of these songs to Kevin Rowland, kind of show him what he's doing. And Kevin likes it. In fact, Kevin likes it so much that he decides to go ahead and build his new group, the new DEXY'S Midnight Runner, around this sound. Along with this new sound, Kevin also gets a new look, and this look is really wild. It's referred to as Irish Vagabond, which is kind of like a farmer, or the guys are wearing like, you know, overalls and scarves, and kind of like people from the country. It's very unusual. Most of the groups that, you know, were making it in England either had like a punk look or a, you know, kind of suit and tie look, but this is the new DEXY'S Midnight Runner. And he takes the song that he's written before, the Yes Let's, but he's also taken the musical instrumentation of Kevin Archer's band, the Blue Ox Babes, and creates a song. And this time the song from Yes Let's is different, and he takes other songs again to build this song. He takes songs, at least, or styles of songs from 3 different entertainers. The first one is the Bump Ba Bump from Tom Jones. And again, the same beat from the band Unit 4+2 with Concrete and Clay.
You to me are sweet as roses in the morning. You to me are soft as...
And there's also another part of the song that you might recognize, and it's stolen from this song, I believe, from Jimmy James and the Vagabonds, called A Man Like Me.
A man like me needs a woman like you. When I'm home, wear my ring.
Kevin puts all these songs together. It's released in July of '82. It becomes a #1 hit in London right away. Here is DEXY'S Midnight Runners with their #1 song, Come On Eileen. Kevin Rowland felt that this song's tag of starting the second British invasion was really not appropriate, and he's sticking with it. Thank you for joining us here on the Breakroom, Single Stories, and we'll see you next time.
Like and subscribe. Y'all come back now, you hear?